You son of a bitch. Cause Punch Drunk loves ya.
What up, what up, what up, what up? Dímelo, mi gente, que lo que? You already know this is Punch Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself. Rainy Sunday. Shout out to the Irish. Had that parade, a lot of counties and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Irish, St. Patrick's Day weekend still. Still getting lit. Hope everybody had a good weekend, good Friday, good Saturday, ending the weekend good. Because we right back at it, ladies and gentlemen. Fight week. Sebastian Fundura, the WBC junior middleweight champion versus the former unified welterweight champion from Clearwater, Florida. One time, Keith Thurman. If you're familiar with the channel, let me tell you like this. Straight off the bat, ladies and gentlemen, there will be no Punch Drunk Boxing channel if it wasn't for Keith Thurman. Let me just say right here, like right now, if y'all new with the channel, but if those of you that have been with your boy Punch Drunk Boxing since day one, there wouldn't be no Punch Drunk Boxing if it wasn't for Keith Thurman. Thurman. One time. Whether he bald or got long hair or short hair, we win one time. There's gonna be people out there that's new to the channel and stuff like that who haven't been rocking with your boy Punch Drunk for a long time. I'll just give you a quick backstory. It's not that I know Thurman, I only had one interview with Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? I wish that we would have had more. We were supposed to have an interview last Friday, but I was too busy and stuff like that. So he had a tight schedule. No Nose Boxing in the building. Was good, man. I'm driving at the moment, so I'm going to be just looking at the chat and driving at the same time, you know. If you haven't become a member of Punch Drunk Boxing, become a member. Let's go. Timber! Let me tell you a quick why. If it wasn't for Keith Thurman, there wouldn't be no Punch Drunk Boxing. There is no Punch Drunk Boxing without Keith Thurman. All right? Let me tell you why. I'm a lifetime boxing fan, but there's a point that I started losing the love for boxing, for looking at professionals and stuff like that. I feel like it got to the point where too much politics, right? Just like in any other sport, I used to be a baseball head, but I used to be the Peter Gammons of baseball. You know what I'm saying? The ghetto Peter Gammons back in the days, but I lost love for it after the steroids era and all that stuff, the Mitchell Report and all that. You know what I'm saying? I just started looking at baseball a different way. I was a major basketball fan, but now I think the basketball is kind of too soft in my opinion. But a decade or something ago, I started losing the love for boxing. I started losing the love for boxing. And then my homegirl, shout out to my homegirl, Christina Cruz, you know what I'm saying? She was fighting a lot in the amateurs. So I started going to a lot of amateur bouts, right? Back in the days, you know what I'm saying? 2005, 2004, 2006, 2000. I started really, almost like how, there's a lot of people that are fans of college football or college basketball, you know what I'm saying? Just as much that they are fans of the pro game. I know people that like college basketball better than the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So I became that guy throughout those years, right? And my favorite fighter in the amateurs, Dímelo que son the building. Just started, yes sir. So when I stopped looking at the pros, I didn't stop looking at the pros, but I lost the love for it. You know what I'm saying? I lost the love. It became too political, too political. Still my favorite fighters at the time, it was still Oscar De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao, Pretty Boy Floyd, and you know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson just left. Roy Jones Jr. had a downfall. All that, right? Tito Trinidad retired. Looked bad in that fight with Roy Jones Jr. Madison Square Garden. Miguel Cotto still ringing bells, but you know what I'm saying, right? Dímelo, queso, que lo que, queso. So I was an amateur head. I was paying attention to the amateur. My favorite fighter in the amateurs was Keith and Tom Thurman. And if you're familiar with the channel, you know that I always follow the up and coming fighters. Just like we were talking about JoJo the other day, the 18-year-old heavyweight that represents USA. I think he's gonna be the next one, right? I think he's a mixture of Larry Holmes and Riddick Bowe. He's gonna be the next one, right? That's why I've been talking about Kid Austin before he even turned pro. That's the reason why I talk about Keyshawn Davis before he turned pro. That's why I was the first one in the YTBC that was talking about Jerome Booth Ennis, right? And was talking about the kryptonite to Jerome Booth Ennis is Gary Antoine Russell. You know what I'm saying? If you notice my channel, that's why I was talking about Ben Whitaker, a.k.a. the Cassius Clay of the UK. You feel me? I follow the amateurs heavy, but I know that the YTBC, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people is not even in tune with it. So, you know, doing content about it, it really doesn't grab the engagement and attention and stuff like that. But back in 05, 06, 07, right? Like 04, 05, 06, I was paying attention heavy to the amateurs. And my favorite fighter in the amateurs was Samson. Who is Samson? That is Keith Tom Thurman, a.k.a. Samson. This man was going to tournaments. The first time I seen Keith Tom Thurman was in Crawford, California, right? I was traveling out there. I was playing street ball, whatever, and stuff like that. So we went to an event over there. Crawford had an event. I think I'm sounding it right. Crawford, California. They had the PAL tournaments and stuff like that out there. And when I used to go to Florida a lot when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? I've gone to see Keith Tom Thurman over there. Yo, and I'm gonna tell you like this: Keith Tom Thurman was putting dudes in the hospital. I'm not even fronting. I'm not even fronting. Ask anybody y'all know. Ask any fighter if y'all ever speak to them. Ask anybody around that time. Keith Thurman used to break ribs. Keith Thurman literally used to put kids in the hospital like his age, right? And this is gonna come around why you be like, yo, Punch, why you always be talking about Demetrius Andre? Well, let me get to that. Let me get to that, right? But I'm gonna say it again. If you're just tuning in, if it wasn't for Keith Tom Thurman, I don't think I would have ever started Punch Wrong Boxing, right? Okay, so I'll give you the quick backstory, right? So Keith Thurman was my guy. Keith Thurman was my favorite fighter, and then when he entered the pros, I'm following Keith Tom Thurman, right? Following Keith Tom Thurman. He was beating everybody in the amateur, and then here comes this guy that beats my guy. Who is that guy? Demetrius Andre. I didn't hear about Demetrius Andre too much, right? But he was in our region, you know what I'm saying, like in New York, you know, Boston, Philly, and stuff like that. It's around the same region in the amateurs, but I didn't get in tune with Demetrius Andre yet, right? Until he started fighting Thurman. Keith Tom Thurman was beating the likes of Sean Porter, Charles Hatley. Charles Hatley was one of my favorite fighters from Texas as well. Charles Hatley was a problem. If anybody knows amateur boxing, hey yo, so, you know what I'm saying? What about damn man, what's his name? Damn, man, I forgot his name. But anyway, that class right there, yo, it was the best class. For me, that class was like the 1996 NBA class. It was Keith Thurman. It was Daniel Jacobs. It was Sean Porter. It was Danny Garcia. It was Terrence Bud Crawford. It was Leo Santa Cruz. It was Mikey Garcia. The Charlo brothers, but they wasn't in a lot of tournaments. But that was the Charlo brothers were fighting, but they wasn't. I think Charles Hadley was the man in Texas around that time. You had Deontay Wilder, you had Gary Russell Jr., right? So the dudes that was ringing bells like crazy was Demetrius Andre, Keith Thurman, Gary Russell Jr., and what's his name, man? Was it from Ohio? Richie Warren, right? Shout out to Warren, right? He was a problem. He was one of the main guys as well, So let me know if y'all hear me, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if y'all hear me. You know I'm driving. It's a storm out here. It's raining out here in New York City. I'm driving, so let me know if y'all hear me. You know what I'm saying? Engage with me in the chat so I know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hear me out. You know? Let me know if I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the Bluetooth go out. Let me know if y'all hear me. Just anybody can be like, yeah, we hear you, Punch. Shut up with your bad breath. Tell me. Yeah, all right. Thank you, Queso. Thank you. Queso! Ay, I can't put la música ahora mismo, Queso, que we driving over here. All right? So, all right. Keith Thurman was breaking ribs. He was the body snatcher of his time, of his era, right? So, um, then he became pro, and I'm following Keith Thurman. I'm still not in YouTube. I tuned to a couple YouTube channels, but I wasn't even like that. I said, wow. 'Cause when I found this community, I was like, yo, this is a hardcore boxing community because people even stop watching boxing a lot. You know what I'm saying, in the hood. So hold on, give me a second. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. I don't get that though. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me know if y'all hear me. Hold on. Gotta step back. Gotta step out right quick. Yo. What's good, bro? Chilling, my brother. I'm doing well, man. Rainy day, huh? No. Celsius. Let me see. Got a little munchity. Hold on. Mm, Sure, man. Good? How you been? Yes, sir, man. Hold on. It's raining out here, son. It's raining out here, man. Coño, raining over here. Y la umbrella? Sí, my goodness, everybody. Oh, don't you hear me? Mira esa vaina. Mira the fog, like, ay. Está lloviendo. Ay. Hold on. So, yeah, man. Hold on. Yo, y'all hear me? So, yeah, man. So, look. He said, where you going? Right here, bro. Yo. All right. I just hooked up the Bluetooth, right? I just need y'all to tell me that y'all hear me good. You feel me? That's all I need. So I just hooked it up on the Bluetooth. Just let me know if y'all hear me good. Teamwork make the dream work. Teamwork make the dream work. Thank you. Okay. So
I wasn't following it. I wasn't following a bunch of channels and stuff like that. I was still new to this community and stuff like that. And there was a lot of channels though. The channels that I was just popping up and recommended, there was dissing. It was a bunch of Earl Spence channel, right? Thank you, my brother. It was out of, there was few channels that was Earl Spence channel, and there was I think a lot of people that used to support Floyd Mayweather. Once Keith from Tom Thurman was calling out Floyd Mayweather, right? A lot of people turned on Keith Thurman. It looked like, you know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of channels hating on, there was a lot of channels hating on Keith, and I'm like, hold up, man. Like, let me start doing some content, and because I was hearing some race baiting stuff. People was calling him an Oreo, because you know that Keith Thurman is half white, half black. So this is when I started in this community, there was a lot of race baiting and stuff like that, right? So I'm like, you know what, man? Let me talk about Keith, because I feel like nobody's showing love to Keith. So I started doing content about Keith Thurman. And that's why I say, if it wasn't for Keith Thurman, me being a fan of Keith Thurman, I don't know if I would have started a boxing channel. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, I think that and that's how it became. If you noticed in the beginning, and that's why I'm a fan of that class. I'm a fan of Demetrius. That's why people be like, yo, are you a fan of Demetrius Andre? Because that was my class. I love that class, Demetrius Andre. That's why I was a fan of Deontay Wilder. That's why I was a fan of Gary Russell. So for those of you that be like, yo, why you talking about these guys? These guys washed up and all that. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I was a fan of these guys. So I understand that Keith one Tom Thurman became the Derrick Rose of boxing. A lot of injuries and things of that nature. But I believe that Keith one Tom Thurman is going to have an upset. Keith one Tom Thurman, in my opinion, going to have an upset, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah. Ain't going to be no Once Upon a Tom Thurman. He's going to write a new book. He's going to write a new book. Oh, yeah, there's a new edition. Nah, that ain't the end. The book ain't finished yet. Nah, they ain't Once Upon a Tom Thurman. Nah, man. Keith one Tom Thurman's going to upset. The Towering Inferno. He's going to upset the Towering Inferno, bro. But I'm going to say this. I think that Keith one Tom Thurman is smarter than Sebastian Fundura. I think he got more power than Sebastian Fundura. I think he got better movement than Sebastian Fundura. I think, of course, Sebastian Fundura is an enigma. Who could prepare? What welterweight could prepare? Now, I can understand a heavyweight preparing for a guy that's 6'6", 6'7", right? And that's already hard enough. Pause. But he said some say one time all day. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, Queso. He said, nah, Clay, nah. One time, baby, one time. This is the one-time crew. All right? One time. Sebastian Fundura. Sebastian Fundura is good. Sebastian Fundura is good. But as bad as Keith Thurman, Sebastian Fundura ain't shit. He beats him Zayas. Is that the clout? Is that the clout for Sebastian Fundura? Yo, why people acting like Tim Tszyu was the all and be all? You see, there's the reason why. See, I said it before. You already know I've been talking about this division since day one. I've been talking about this division, ladies and gentlemen. The 154-pound division, the most stacked division in the sport of boxing. Anybody can get it from the number 1 to number 10. You mix and match it, and you don't know what's gonna happen. You ain't know that Lyra was gonna put in that work versus Canelo Alvarez in 154. Huh? Hey, yo, tell me what division. Hey, yo, right now in the chat, tell me what division did even Terrence Buck Crawford look kind of shaky? What division did Terrence Buck Crawford look shaky? The 135? The 140? The 147? the 168, oh yeah, it says about Crawford, when he went to the 154-pound division versus Masvidal, he looked at ordinary. This was, hey yo, Demetrius Andre got dropped in the 154-pound division. Oh yeah, Tony Harrison was supposed to be a good, he was supposed to be an elite with his skill set, but he couldn't even manage to be a top dog or even close to a top dog. Jamel Charlo lost, right? Jamel Charlo lost to Tony Harrison. Brian Castano beat Patrick Teixeira. Brian Castano gave a draw to Lara, in which I think Brian Castano beat Lara. You know what I'm saying? Y'all thought that Josh Kelly was going to lose to Bakram just because Bakram beat Tim Tszyu. And matter of fact, when they announced Keith Thurman versus Tim Tszyu, y'all said that Tim Tszyu was going to knock out Thurman. Y'all don't believe that now. Y'all don't believe that now. This is what it is. I think a lot of people were sleeping in that wagon of the Tim Tszyu hype. Y'all was all hype about Tim Tszyu and found out that Tim Tszyu was not all of that. And now y'all gauging, oh look, Bakram became the boogeyman because he beat Tim Tszyu. Fundura became the guy because he beat Tim Tszyu. What the fuck Tim Tszyu beat? But it's all right. Y'all gonna wake up. Y'all gonna wake up. If you gotta wake up, one time it's gonna reach y'all better. A story when y'all wake up and a bedtime story. We're gonna put that shit to rest. Damn, it's raining a lot, man. Let's go with Mother Nature, man. Mother Nature is wet out here, man. Hey, yo, man, it's crazy raining now. I barely can see the road. Mother Nature is wet. Father Nature is putting it on Mother Nature right now. Hey, yo, Mother Nature, relax up there. Yo, Father Nature's putting the pipe down on Mother Nature right now. She's wet as hell. It's raining out here, man. It's pouring. Damn, man. Let me yo, Punch. Why you always gotta turn everything into a free shit? Hey, yo, Punch. Why you gotta turn everything into some free shit? Hey, yo, smash that like button, man. Smash that like. Let me read and drop at the same time. Hey, yo, he said, hey, yo, Clay said, yo, we just can't look past all the inactivity. At his age, strength goes last, but athleticism goes first. Combined. See, I get it. Hey, yo, Clay, look. Hey, yo, Clay. It's one thing. This is what I'm gonna say about inactivity. It's one thing to be inactive and gain and look like a fat ass and don't train and drink and get drunk and sniff coke and party, right? Don't take care of yourself. That's not Thurman. Thurman just became a family man. Thurman fell in love. Thurman had 3 kids. Thurman is a good guy. Thurman is not no entourage. He don't go crazy. And no tiene vicio. I don't know how to say it in English, right? So that inactivity is different. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you, for example, right now. Look at Errol Spence. Errol Spence right now been out the ring ever since he got his ass whooped by Bill Crawford. But how does Errol Spence look like right now? Errol Spence look like in the best shape of his career, of his life. You know what I'm saying? Because it depends what is your inactivity. Now you tell me, if these guys was acting like Adrian Broner and coming back, of course, it's gonna show. It's gonna show. It's all right with the 3. It's all right. Manny Pacquiao had a layoff, and look what he did to Keith Thurman when he had that layoff. You know what I'm saying? It depending. You feel me? It depends. Now I'm gonna say this. This is what I'm looking at. Me being a Keith Thurman fan. You know the strength and weaknesses of your favorite fighters, right? Dímelo, Fight Fury Films, con los 10 pesos de gasolina. What does Keith Thurman need to do to win this fight? Okay, I like the question. Let me say it like this. Both of these guys are going to go through vulnerability. Both of these guys have shown vulnerabilities, right? Both of these guys have shown vulnerabilities. We already seen Fundura get put down. We seen Fundura get knocked out. We seen Fundura lose bad. We see Fundura lose bad. And why? Because Fundura does not have the IQ. He's gotten a little bit better, but Fundura does not have the IQ like a Thurman. IQ is going to win this fight for Keith Thurman. IQ, patience, IQ, lateral movement, set traps. Now, Sebastian Fundura, he does not identify range. He is Sebastian Fundura should be making all his fights look easy. But Sebastian Fundura does not have the IQ to identify range. Maybe that's the reason why he wears glasses. I don't know. Sebastian Fundura should not be getting in a war with Brian Mendoza. Sebastian Fundura should not be getting in a war with a Tim Tszyu. Sebastian Fundura should not be getting in a war with an Eric Zanubin. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. I think that Fundura makes a lot of mistakes. But Sebastian Fundura does have stamina. Sebastian Fundura output is very, very good and could be very overwhelming to time because of his height. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very hard to prepare for him. So you gotta be very, very smart and make in-ring adjustments on the fly with Sebastian Fundura, because it's so hard to get anybody to mimic a Fundura. Now, this is one thing that I'm looking at, and I'm a little bit afraid for Thurman in this sense. Thurman, if you've seen Thurman does not do great versus tall fighters. The outcome, he still gets to win. But Keith Thurman got dropped in the first round. Got hurt in the first round by Soto Carras. He was tall, like 3 inches taller than Thurman. Keith Thurman also got hurt by Josecito Lopez. Josecito Lopez like 3 inches taller than Thurman. You know what I'm saying? Even Mario Barrios, he did hit him to the body, in which Keith Thurman needed to take his mouthpiece, like he did versus Manny Pacquiao. So Keith Thurman has the habit of getting hurt versus taller fighters. I'm not saying he doesn't get hurt by smaller fighters like Sean Porter or Manny Pacquiao, but Keith Thurman sometimes get lackadaisical on the defensive end. The thing that I love about Keith Thurman is Keith Thurman know how to survive, and he know how to survive smart. And once he survives, if you notice, every time Keith Thurman gets hurt, he wins the next round. He finds a way. He does not get hit with the same punch, right? So I think that both of these guys are going to be hurt. Both of these guys are going to show vulnerability. I think that Thurman could be dropped, and I think that Fundura could be dropped. But I think the survival tactics, I think that Thurman have proven more that he could survive better than Sebastian Fundura. Sebastian Fundura just want to go fight you. Thurman wants to survive, play it safe, give himself another chance for another round. You know what I'm saying? I just think that IQ is going to get Thurman over the hump. Now, Keith Thurman also, he is very, 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 very good off the back foot. As a matter of fact, Keith Thurman is just as accurate and just as effective off the back foot than on the front foot. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman know how to set traps. Now look, in the sport of boxing, there's not a lot of guys like back in the days that know how to set traps. Keith Thurman know how to set traps. He know how to shoot that right hand, and then he got that hook, left hook, in which he step back and throw that left hook that he'll connect, and he's out of range at the same time. So I don't think that Sebastian Fundura been in the ring with anything like Keith Thurman's movement or intelligence. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? I think that Keith Thurman had the ability to make Sebastian Fundura cross his feet. And he's going to capitalize on precision, get him off balance, and that's what's going to be Sebastian Fundura going to land on the floor. You know what I'm saying? But again, both of these guys are very vulnerable. You know, um, both of these guys is very vulnerable. So I could see if Sebastian Fundura does not, if Sebastian Fundura fights on the inside, look, it's a gift and a curse. Sebastian Fundura know how to fight on the inside, and those uppercuts, are very, very good. I think that Sebastian Fundura probably has the best uppercut. Outside of Jamel Charlo in the 154-pound division, I think that Sebastian Fundura got the best uppercut. But the uppercut is the that punch is the most, how you saying, dangerous punch to throw, because it leaves you wide open. It leaves you wide open for straight shots and hooks. And Keith Thurman, he got a great left hook. Keith Thurman got a great left hook. And don't be surprised of the body work of Keith Thurman. That's what I was talking about at the beginning. Keith Thurman, I think over the years, he stopped going to the body like he used to. But if he goes back and fights like Ben Getty taught him, yo, I think that, I'm telling you, I think there's going to be a lot of ways for Keith Thurman to take advantage. You know, there's going to be a lot of openings for Sebastian Fundura because he's high value puncher, which is subjective for to be countered. You know what I'm saying? And if you go on the inside, I think that Thurman's going to get hit with some shots. But I think that who's going to take the better shots? Who's going to handle the better shots? You know what I'm saying? Sebastian Fundura right now is walking into his prime. Keith Thurman is in the back end. We don't know if it's still prime or not. We know it's in inactivity, of course. But I don't think his inactivity is the inactive of a person that is not still, you know, working out, not thinking about boxing. Keith Thurman, I've known people that says that Keith Thurman been in the gym even when throughout his layoffs and stuff like that. So, and he been having camps. Let's not forget that Keith Thurman been having camps even before his layoff. Let's not forget that he had camps leading up to Tim Tszyu. He had camp leading up to Fundura, in which Fundura had to postpone because of his injury. We saw the arm of Sebastian Fundura also. Sebastian Fundura just had, if you look at his arm, it looked like he did have a bicep tear. So, and that's new. Go look at Sebastian Fundura's right hand. It looked like, right arm, it did look like Sebastian Fundura did have a recent bicep tear. So, I don't know if he's rushing into this fight. We've seen fighters win with a bicep tear. We've seen Ugas beat Manny Pacquiao with a bicep tear. So we don't know how, but you could see that it's very, very visible. He said camps is not real fight. I'm not talking about that it's not a real fight, but I'm saying that he's been in the mix. He's not sitting. He's not a couch potato. His inactivity is not him being a couch potato. It's a difference. You know what I'm saying? No camp. All right, if no camp is like the real fight, so everybody tell everybody not to be in the camp. Just go out there and fight. So now, camp is not important. Doesn't keep you in shape. Doesn't keep you sharp. All right. So everybody don't go to camp and just fight each other. Come on, King. Stop trying to act like camp ain't important. Camp is gonna keep you sharp. There's people that had great camps that look shitty in a fight. There's fighters that had great camps and look shitty in a fight like they didn't even have a camp. You know what I'm saying? I just think that the pluses for Fundura is going to be output, activity, but let's not forget that he's coming off an injury. And I know that y'all don't want to count the Jarvis fight, but Keith Thurman just had a fight also almost a year ago, but he did have a fight. And he had a camp. And at the last minute, Fundura was out. So this is not a couch potato. He said, have we really seen the power translate 154? Of course. Of course. The power is translating. Now, is people still going to, are they still going to criticize or make an assessment of Keith Thomas Thurman's power because of his nickname? Oh, yo, he's not knocking people out. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't have any power. Ask anybody, any opponent that ever stepped inside the ring with a Thurman, his power is legit. His power is legit. Sebastian Fundura's power, I think Sebastian Fundura, the accumulation of his punches, he's a more break you down fighter than a knockout artist. I just think that Sebastian Fundura never changed. If you go check out Sebastian Fundura in the amateurs, matter of fact, I even put the amateur fight with Sebastian Fundura and Teofimo Lopez. Go to my channel, I put that fight up. When Sebastian Fundura and when Sebastian Fundura fought Teofimo Lopez in the amateurs, you could tell that Sebastian Fundura really never changed. He never changed. You know what I'm saying? I think he got a little better. I think but the assessment of him getting better was versus the same guy, Tim Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? So, look, I think it's a hard fight. I think it's fair to say that Thurman is the underdog. I am rooting for Thurman on this one. I like Sebastian Fundura very much as you know, he's a great professional. I think he's a great guy with a great family. Shout out to his sister. I think this division, this division is all upsets. So, especially in this division, like when people, this division smells upset all day long. To be honest, this is the division that everything should be looked at as a 50-50 fight. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know what's gonna happen. Just like almost 2 years ago. Hey, yo, I did a poll, bro, and people was crazy. I did a poll after Charlo beat Brian Castaño, and people were saying that Tim Tszyu would beat Jamel Charlo, bro. People was crazy. I think people has given Fundura this over-exaggerated praise, but his biggest win is Tim Tszyu. Let's not forget that. Fundura been around several times. Sebastian Fundura is not untouchable. And let me tell you like this. We all know when a fighter wants to fight a guy, they see weakness. Thurman wanted to fight this guy. Just like Thurman wanted to fight Tim Tszyu. And when a fighter, you know what I'm saying? A fighter knows why he want to fight a dude. He sees something in Fundura. Danny Garcia is predicting a knockout. Why? Danny Garcia is predicting a knockout that Thurman would knock out Fundura. I think it's because a lot of people did see Fundura in the amateurs. He lost bad, and he's not truly separated himself at 154. He's an enigma. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he got way better. I don't know. But it's true. The athleticism of Thurman could fall. I don't think that Thurman is I don't think Thurman is not the fastest puncher. Thurman is not known for a lot of combination. So I don't think that Thurman is going to overwhelm Fundura with hand speed. I think he's going to overwhelm him. I think Thurman is going to overwhelm him with feints. You know what I'm saying? I don't like how Thurman's defense has been looking at as late. To be honest, in his last fight, even in victory, I think that he has abandoned a little bit of the Dan Birmingham defense. Fight Fury Films, Colo the Paso with a $10 super chat. God bless you, my brother. He goes, Keith has to show up and prove that he is still has the position to fight at the top level. Oh yeah, man. Yo, let me say it like this, Fight Fury Films. Once you reach that top and you don't have, baggage, you know what I'm saying? Like an Adrian Broner, like, you know what I'm saying? You don't go on back of the line. You know what I'm saying? Those skills does not leave. Those skills does not leave. All the skills just needs to be sharpened. That's it. If Thurman goes in there injury and not injured or nothing like that, and he had a great camp, not the type of camp that he's like, yo, man, I'm not gonna give 100% because I don't want to get injured. And maybe that's the type of camp that he had. I don't know, because we do know that Keith Thurman had problem with his hands. We also know that Fundura maybe could have had, a camp that he didn't go all out because of his bicep injury. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the stuff is mental. It's not really, you're physically healthy, but you might not want to go all out because, I don't want to get injured. I don't want to pull out this fight. That's a lot of millions. I need to get paid. I need to pay bills. You know what I'm saying? So I think both of these guys, you could say is going to camp or went to camp with the same type of mindset and probably not leaving everything in the gym and holding back for the fight. I think so. I think so. I don't think that Keith Thurman could afford to have another postponement. You know what I'm saying? Fundura, yes. Because to be honest, Fundura does not need Thurman. Thurman needs Fundura. Thurman needs this fight. You know what I'm saying? And if Thurman wins, he's back on top. He's back on top, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he is, man. But it's still the 154-pound division. Anybody can get it. I'm telling you. Any matchup that people say, nobody should be like, oh, man, he going to beat the 9 and not at 154. It's like Boots versus Vergil. Nah, man, they ain't going to be. I don't know who going to win. Zayas versus Boots, no, I don't know who going to win. We could all be like, nah, man, Boots is way. I'm all right. We don't know because this is 154. We never know. Let's not forget that Jason Rosario beat J-Rock. He wasn't supposed to beat J-Rock. Jason Rosario wasn't supposed to beat J-Rock. You know what I'm saying? J-Rock wasn't supposed to beat Jarrett Hurd. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, this division is full of surprises. So when I say upset alert, ladies and gentlemen, it's an upset. Hey, I'm not a betting man. I'm not a betting man, and I don't like people to bet on nothing. If I was a betting man, this is a smart underdog pick. What y'all think? This is a smart underdog pick, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all want to win money, right? Hurd took some serious beating. Yeah, man. Hurd, guess. Hurd, Hurd looked like he probably got gray areas, man. You saw his life portrayed in real time. Hell yeah. Jarrett Hurd is a good guy too. I met him in Vegas. I think I met Jarrett Hurd in Vegas when Thurman, matter of fact, when Thurman had the fight with Mario Barrios. I met Jarrett Hurd, man. Yeah, man, he's a cool guy, man. It was him and his lady. He was a cool guy, man. Cool guy. Shout out to Jarrett Hurd. Shout out to Jarrett Hurd. But yeah, man, he was just getting cooked. But this is what it is about the 154-pound division. Put it this way, everybody's an underdog at 154. Ain't no favorites. It's like everybody is an underdog. It's like underdog versus underdog, right? It's like underdog versus underdog. But it's starting, the tournament is starting. I'm very happy that a lot of people is talking about my favorite division. I love it. Now, we're talking about Xander Zayas in negotiations with Jerome Booth Ennis. I like this move. Xander Zayas is only 23 years old. Win, lose. If he loses, it does nothing, to be honest. It don't drop his stock. And I'll be damned if a boxing community writes off Xander Zayas if he loses to Ennis. He's only 23 years old, bro. He don't even got to rush. But I like that he wants this. And let's not forget that Xander Zayas did sign up to fight Vergil Ortiz before Vergil Ortiz picked Masvidal. So Xander Zayas been wanting to work with belts or no belts. Let's not forget that he did sign to fight Vergil Ortiz. And Vergil Ortiz said he had the Masvidal fight, and he felt that the Masvidal fight was a better fight because how Masvidal performed versus Bud Crawford. So Xander Zayas is winning a fight. Now, Xander Zayas has not given that type of statement victory, like a knockout victory, like, oh my God, this guy's unstoppable. But what's getting scary about Xander Zayas is he's getting stronger and stronger, and Xander Zayas is not even near his prime. That's the scary part. That's the scary part. He's no near his prime. He's 23 years old, unified champion, and we're here just begging for a Vergil versus Boots. But nah, man, even if Vergil and Boots fight, they still got to see Xander. The winner still got to see Xander. Queso con los $100. Punch. Good looking now, Queso. Don't play with that. Now I'm on a red light. Oh shit, it turned green. It turned green. It turned green. I got you right now. Hold on. He said, Punch, has there ever been another time a fighter stepped in the ring and the fight ain't happened? Wow. Now he stepped inside the ring and the fight ain't happened? I don't remember that, man. Shit, I gotta AI that shit. I gotta Google that one. Step inside the ring and the fight ain't happened. I think the closest thing was Oliver McCall stepping inside the ring versus Lennox Lewis and was crying. And he didn't want to be in the ring. I mean, how about the fights that you step inside the ring and you don't want to fight? Oliver McCall. Right? How about, what's his name? Andrew Galata versus Mike Tyson when, y'all remember that fight? Yo, can you imagine if a Shakur or Tio or Devin Haney pulls a Andrew Galata or Oliver McCall in the ring in this social media era? Yo, good looking now, Queso, man. Look at la música de Queso, Pera. La música, I'm in the red light. I'm not in the red light district, but I'm in the red light right now.
He's rich. He is rich. He got his own money. Say he's got his own money. I mean the boy has got his own money.
Queso! Con los hundred, papón tronco boxeo. DJ Camelo, Alex Sensation, págame la música. Yes, sir. So yeah, yo, Queso, I think that's the only that's the only fight, bro. Can y'all imagine, bro? Oliver McCall was crying like a bitch. That was in the ring and didn't fight. Okay. Yes. Triple G and Demetrius Andre. Yep. So Queso, man, two guys that stepped inside the ring was promoting a fight and didn't fight. Yes. Boo Boo, and Triple G. After the Steve Rose fight, Boo Boo stepped inside the ring. Triple G shook his hand. They was gonna fight next, and then the fight never happened. Queso. They've been ducking my guy, man. You set yourself up with that one, brother. Hey, yo, people hate when I bring up my guy, Boo Boo. Yo, why they be hating my guy? Oh, what about Spence and Fundura? Spence and Fundura. Earl Spence stepped inside the ring. Oh, what about this one? Oh, yeah, it was about to happen, though. When Manny Pacquiao stepped inside the ring after Spence beat Mikey Garcia. That fight didn't happen. But I like remember when Thurman stepped inside the ring after Danny Garcia knocked out Brandon Rios, and they went it down and they got the fight. And they got the fight. Yeah, you set yourself up with that one, okay? So he said, "Oh nah, Push, come on now, not that Boo Boo and Triple G." Yeah. What happened? Triple G went out there and fought the Polish guy instead of fighting my guy, Demetrio Andre, and then he went out there to Japan and fight Murata. Huh? But what about this though? When Boots was calling out Bud Crawford. And then when he finally see Bud Crawford, he ain't say a word. Yeah. Hey, yo. I seen how Bud Crawford, I got to give this a Bud Crawford, though. I seen how Bud Crawford be moving in these arenas. And Bud be waiting for it. Bud be looking, I'm not going to say he be looking for it, but Bud walks around. Trust me, I seen him a couple times. Bud walks around. He walks around with the, I wish a nigga would try me right now. I seen Bud Crawford in the Demetrio Andre versus David Benavidez. Which I also seen Bud Crawford. What did I see in the other Bud Crawford fight? I seen him in another. He walks around like that though. He walks around like, I wish a motherfucker would try me right now. Nelo was looking every which way but in the eyes. Yeah, man. Leno, man. Yeah, man. Yo, Canelo Alvarez, man. I don't know. I don't think, to be honest, bro, I don't think me being a fan of a fighter declined so significantly than me being a fan of Canelo. Like, I'm not going to take what he's accomplished away, of course. I just didn't like the way that he moved with David Benavidez. Like, I wasn't shaming Canelo Alvarez to fight David Benavidez. I always said, prior to him fighting Caleb Plant, I say, nah. You can't shame Canelo Alvarez or David Benavidez. But once David Benavidez got those 4 victories, those 4 wins, you know what I'm saying? He strengthened his resume. He did exactly what Canelo Alvarez told him to do. He said, go fight fighters. As a matter of fact, let's not forget that Canelo Alvarez even had David Benavidez versus Demetrio Andre, a 50-50 fight. I would have thought that Canelo Alvarez would have wanted a piece of David Benavidez after. And then Canelo Alvarez started talking in a language that I never heard Canelo Alvarez talk. Canelo Alvarez started saying about rehydrating. Oh, he's gonna rehydrate 20-something pounds and all that stuff. I'm like, all right, this is scared talk now. This is scared talk now. If you're gonna be the face of boxing, you got a responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's ticking. And that right there. And then, you know, he sold his soul to the man with the flying carpet. You know what I'm saying? Now look at him. And put it this way, y'all already know what's going out there, and it's unfortunate. Things that's going out there in the other side of the world with the war and everything like that. Y'all know that they not investing the money in boxing no more. Let's not forget they just canceled the Formula One event out there in Saudi Arabia. They're about to cancel the WWE Rings of Champions. So they're already canceling sporting events out there in Saudi Arabia. And we all know that Canelo Alvarez signed up to fight out there in Saudi Arabia, but it seems like there ain't gonna be no real sporting event out there. Look, even Devin Haney is gonna have the fight with Rolly Romero, PBC. David Benavidez versus Sudo Ramirez, PBC. Let's not forget the photo that I put up the other day, and I was talking about it. I told you, hey yo, See, there was some people that was calling me a hater, and I was always questioning how long this is gonna last. How long is this gonna last? This, the investment or the money that is being thrown out there like an ATM machine without a code, right? Right? How long is that was gonna last? How long Turkey's gonna last in the sport of boxing? Because I kept on telling the people, remember, this is a project all the way up until 2030. And now nobody is questioning. Everybody's all quiet. A lot of media folks is quiet. They don't want to even talk about what's happening. What is Turkey Al Sheikh gonna be doing with these events? There was no rehab. There was nothing. What's going on? So now I think that watch. If Canelo wants to stay active, if Turkey Al Sheikh don't give Canelo Alvarez the type of money that he promised him, I think Canelo Alvarez is gonna retire because he's gonna look dumb trying to come back, knocking on the door, knocking on Al Heyman's door. That's gonna happen, folks. Do not be surprised if Canelo Alvarez next fight is going to be PBC event. Tell you right now, don't be surprised. Young said, yo, I see he's seen Crawford pressure boy Teo Jr. and Senior. But you know one thing I like about, I'm gonna tell you this about one thing I like about how, you know why Bud be mad at Teo Senior? Because he can't punk Teo Senior. See, that's what it is. See, that's what Bud Crawford punks everybody. Bud Crawford punks everybody. But there's one guy that he can't punk. I'm keeping it real. Some of y'all may laugh. I seen it in action. Yo, this guy, Teo Senior, he boils Bud Crawford. And you know why? Because Senior is not scared. Senior is the type to be like, hit me, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. Senior be funny, bro. I'm telling you, Senior is unhinged. He's not afraid of Bud, bro. He know he'll probably get knocked out by Bud, but he's not afraid of Bud, bro. He said, you remember when Bill saved Devin from Bud? Yeah. I'm telling you, bro. I seen it in action, yo. I was there. I'll be chilling with sometimes with Senior, bro. They could try to do it with Teo, and Teo didn't even back up from Bud. But I'll tell you this, Senior not afraid of Bud, and that's what I think gets Bud mad. You see how Bud walked up to him, and Senior just stayed like that, I said, take it, and Senior be like, hit me first. Go ahead, swing. Yo, shout out to Senior. Hey, yo, man. Hey, yo, I'm going to say it like this, man. Shout out to my guy, Senior, Teo Senior, man. My prayers go out to Senior. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Senior. My prayers go out, man. Hopefully get his health. You know, he's you know what I'm saying? He's working on it, folks. He's working on it. You know what I'm saying? We all got our demons, man. And you know what I'm saying? I know that in boxing, people like to, like to crucify him and stuff like that. But if people understand a lot of the things that he's going through in his life, I don't know a lot of people that could really manage, you know what I'm saying, mentally. You know, and I always tell Senior, like, yo, you got to tell I think people don't know you like that. You got to tell your story. I think if people really understand his story, his background, what happened to his mom, what happened to his dad, and understand why he's like the way that he is, and got, you know, he's a great dude, but a dude that got his demons, you feel me? And things like that doesn't go away, but he's doing better, bro. He's doing a lot better. So, hey, yo, everybody, keep your praise to go out to Senior, man. Damn, man, this heat is hot. But I like this fight with Xander Zayas versus Boots. I think. Hey yo, what y'all think, man? Because I think it's split. I've been saying this since he got in the ring. I said this fight is not gonna happen. I said the fight is gonna happen is Vergil Ortiz versus Earl Spence. A lot of people were like, no. And then with the situation with Vergil Ortiz and Golden Boy Promotions, I said it from the beginning, bro. And I respect Oscar De La Hoya. I respect Vergil Ortiz. I respect Vergil Ortiz Senior. I respect Rick, Vergil Ortiz manager. Vergil Ortiz manager is one of the very, very few boxing guys, like boxing, personnel that's ever like, give me, a word of support. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, keep doing what you're doing, man. I think they're funny. I think you're special. I think that boxing need a voice like you. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Rick. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say like this, man. That he's been one of the real ones. He's been one of the real ones. But I'm a real one in terms where it doesn't matter what if we got a good standing. You know what I'm saying? But if people want to be cool with me, man, you gotta allow me to be real too. And that's one thing. Anybody that's cool with me, that is in boxing, they understand. Like, put it this way. Look at my guy, Demis Andre. How many videos I made about, the late, and God rest his soul, when we was talking about Snack and Victor Conte and stuff like that. I still gotta give my opinion of what I feel. And even Boo will be like, yo, leave my, come on, man, slow down, man, be easy on my guy. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't tamper with our, friendship or nothing like that. They understand my position. If you respect my position, that's all I ask. Respect my position. There's certain fighters that they don't want to respect us. They don't want to respect a boxing content creator. You know what I'm saying? If we heavily criticize them or even criticize them just a little bit, they get emotional or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't. Oh man, you a hater. Nah, man. Tim Tszyu is a correct scrap. Should he win and Thurman maybe, we could get that too, man. I come on, Hey, yo, I'm in this community. My first debates, my debate runs, right? My debate runs, Gasso, is about Thurman and Spence. Anytime, the first time I jumped on somebody panel to debate was about Thurman and Spence. When people trying to shit on, but Spence was calling out Thurman when he was 15-0, man. He wasn't even ranked top 10 when he was calling him out. You know what I'm saying? Like, people forget about that time. Like, it was Floyd Mayweather when Thurman was calling out Floyd Mayweather. And then Floyd Mayweather, because Thurman was in position after Keith Thurman beat Diego Chavez, Keith Thurman became the #1 mandatory to the WBA. Right? So y'all already know that's why Keith Thurman was calling out Paulie Malignaggi. Remember, don't duck me, son, because Paulie Malignaggi held the title. Remember? And then Paulie Malignaggi lost to Adrian Broner. And then it was supposed to be Thurman versus Maidana. Maidana pulled out of that fight to fight Adrian Broner. And then Maidana beat Adrian Broner. So Keith Thurman been in the position, right? All right, he didn't get Paulie. He didn't get Broner. Then he didn't get Maidana. Who got Maidana? Floyd Mayweather got Maidana. Boom. And then Maidana got the rematch. And right there, they elevated Floyd Mayweather to a super WBA. That's like the WBC franchise. Like the super WBA. And then it took away the mandatory power, you know what I'm saying, of Keith Thurman. And that's when Keith Thurman was really remember that time when Keith Thurman in his press conference was like, yo, who y'all want to the audience? Y'all want to burn money? Let's burn money. You know what I'm saying? Earl Spence was not even in the conversation of a Thurman and Spence. And then Floyd Mayweather said, if you want to fight me, fight Earl Spence, and then you could fight me, right? For $10 million. That's when the Earl Spence and Keith Thurman talk started. Earl Spence didn't call out Keith Thurman. Floyd Mayweather called out Thurman to fight Earl Spence, and then Earl Spence started the call out. You know what I'm saying? And then it became this thing that, oh, Thurman is ducking Earl Spence. No, he wasn't no ducking Earl Spence. Earl Spence was not even in position for the fight. Earl Spence was not even in position for the fight. Let's not forget that. I think that in Earl Spence's 15 fight, he beat what's his name? Emmanuel Lardy, where he got rocked. So the real duck was Floyd Mayweather ducking Thurman, because then he rematched Maidana. And then after Maidana, then he fought Manny Pacquiao. So of course, ain't nobody gonna be shaming on Floyd Mayweather to fight Thurman and not Manny Pacquiao. But it was supposed to be Thurman to get the shot. Floyd Mayweather pushed Earl Spence to Thurman, and then it created this Thurman and Earl Spence. And then ever since then, Earl Spence is running around always saying, I'm not going to fight him because I was calling him out. He didn't want to fight me. My man, you was not in position, bro. Thurman, think about it. Because Thurman, it was a better fight for Thurman to fight Sean Porter at the time he fought him. It was better for Thurman to unify the titles versus Danny Garcia. Now, I give this. Let's not forget this. Now, when give me a second. When Thurman, let me put the light on. Fuck it. I already stopped here. Give me a second. I can show my. Dímelo, mi gente! I'm in the whip. So, remember, folks, when was it? After the okay, then after the Danny Swift Garcia, Thurman won. He got injured, and boom, he has to vacate one of the titles, the WBC World Title. We have then we had Porter versus Danny Garcia. Dímelo, Fight Fury Films con la 20 pesos. Ahí para el buffet mañana. Indian a comprar. What was the other state? Damn, I bought for the kids. No, that's green. It wasn't Musaka. It was the lady wanted Indian food. I forgot what it was. I started liking Indian food a little bit. I like the little spicy. You know what I'm saying? A comprar Indian food. Who is your top 5 at 154 right now? Woo! Top 5 active. All right, let's say the active ones. I'm active. I'm not gonna put Charlo right now. Active. Vergil Ortiz, Fundura, Josh Kelly. No, damn, man, it's tough, bro. Hey, yo, that's tough. I could say the top 5, but I don't want to put them numericals because I still think a lot of them is just one win that, you know what I'm saying. I think I'm gonna say the top 5, but I'm not gonna put them in numerical like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just the top 5. Fundura, Vergil, Xander Zayas, Josh Kelly, and because Boo's still got to do something that, you know what I'm saying. Boo's still got to be. Boo's only for Lima, you know what I'm saying. I mean, in terms of skills, I could put him there, but these guys already did put him a little bit of work, you know what I'm saying. I'll put Boots up there. I'll put Boots. But in 154, anything could change, bro. At 154, anything could change. You know what I'm saying? In terms of skills, skill set, right? Skill set. I think Boots, in terms of skill set, Boots, Vergil, Josh Kelly, and Xander Zayas, in terms of skill set, you know what I'm saying? I think they're the top in terms of skill set. You know what I'm saying? Boots, Xander Zayas, Vergil, Josh Kelly, and Thurman. If we're talking about skill set, if we're talking about guys that's done their work already at 154, and these guys are young, you got to give, Josh Kelly beating Bakram is a great win. Fundura, at the time, beating Fundura, Tim Tszyu, I guess it was big for the people. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it didn't age as well, but got to give him a lot of credit. He did fight him like when the hype was there. But if we add in a Jamel Charlo, I'm rooting for one time. Yes, sir. Tenderoni chicken. Masala, that's what it is, queso. That's what I bought. That's what I bought the kids the other day. Masala, chicken masala. Chicken masala with the garlic bread. Chicken masala. They like chicken masala. My son, the middle one, he likes his little spicy food. You know what I'm saying? I think me and him, we got the same taste buds. You know what I'm saying? My oldest son too, as well. My sons got the same taste buds. And my daughter, she likes the junky foods. Like, you like the junky food. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, shout out to all my autistic parents out there as well, man. And shout out to all the autistic kids around the world too, man. We bleed blue. I ain't talking political. I'm talking about autism. You know what I'm saying? We bleed blue. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody, man. I'm proud of my kid, man. You know what I'm saying? Getting better and better, man. Getting better and better, man. Shout out to my kiddo. I'm hungry as hell, man. First 48 hours fast of the year. Let's go. Yeah? Man, I slacked off a little bit, man. I slacked off a little bit when the weather was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I hate gyms, man. To be honest, that's why I was thinking about doing more clips, me hitting the heavy bag and doing some boxing stuff. But to be honest, I don't like gyms, man. I don't know, man. I grew not to liking. I like the outside workout. I like to run outside. I like, you know what I'm saying, there's bars, you know, like I'm not a gym. I don't know. I think the older I get, the more I don't like to feel like I can't even stay home too long no more, bro. Like I like to be out. Like sometimes, bro, sometimes I go out just to go to the store to get a potato chip or something, just to be out. I can't be like, what's the word, confined into I can't, like, you know what I'm saying? I like to be out. I need space, you know? I don't like treadmills, you know? I like the outside. You know, I think the treadmill be lying to me. I'd be like, damn, I already ran a mile. I ain't ran a mile already, man. But I like the fight with Xander Zayas and Boots. Vergil Ortiz, I think him and his team played his cards wrong. That's why I said from day one, I said, yo, have a sit down with Oscar De La Hoya. Be a man. Have the conversation. I said, what I told y'all, folks. What I said. He said, and that's why you have a YouTube channel, and I'm in the chat, Ninja. Nah, man, I gotta get back, man. I'm gonna go. Matter of fact, since it's gonna be good, I'm gonna run tomorrow, man. I'm gonna run tomorrow. I ate some fish, some fried fish with vegetable fried rice and broccoli. But I'm proud of myself, yo. I haven't ate meat, chicken, or beef since September, man. So that's keeping, even though that I'm not working out as much, but that's keeping my weight. I'm not gaining weight like I used to. what I'm saying? Because I could lose 20 and gain 40 right away in less than 3 weeks, bro. I could look like a fat ass again. But I haven't had meal chicken since September, man. So, hey, yo, Queso, since you gave me that challenge, bro. Yo, Queso, shout out to Queso, yo, because if Queso didn't challenge, if you didn't give me that friendly challenge, my brother, yo, right now, to be honest, Queso, I'll be waiting close to 270. Because I was 250, 252, 256. Yo, the most I ever waited was 262, man. But I remember when I started, I was 250, 252, 253, 256, you know, depending on what I drank, you know, depending on what I drank that day. Yo, if I didn't start that challenge in September, October, bro, yo, I was heading to like even people's like, yo, you're neckish. Like, I even feel it still, man. Like, yo, I wasn't looking right. Same, I know exactly how them be blow. Yeah, bro. Yo, even the scale today, my brother, I was like, damn, man, 215. Come on, man. Damn, I can't have a little bit of Chinese food. Sheesh. You know what it is though? I stopped eating chicken. I stopped eating chicken and meat, but I started eating fish like I never ate fish before. And when I was still running and working and stuff like that, I was eating a salmon, white fish, tuna fish, you know, like 3 times a week, twice a week, and vegetables, cauliflower, beans, avocado sandwiches, all that stuff. But lately, I'm eating fish every day, maybe twice a day. That's what's killing me right now. Fundura wins and it won't even be close. Why it won't even be close? You know what it is? Yo, I don't even blame y'all. You know why I don't blame y'all? It's because y'all forgot about Keith Thurman. Think about it. If Keith Thurman truly been inactive, let's say Keith Thurman been inactive for, if we could talk about for the past, 7 years. Let's say 7-8 years. He's been inactive. So I can understand there's a new crop of fans, of boxing fans, that truly don't know Keith Thurman. This, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. That Danny Silva Garcia, Keith Thurman was 2017. The Porter Thurman was 2016. We in 2026. So I could understand. Thurman has not even looked right. He fought Josecito Lopez. That ain't surprised people. He fought Manny Pacquiao. He lost to Manny Pacquiao. He went a whole 10 rounds with Mario Barrios, in which Gervonta Davis knocked out Mario Barrios. And then he had that the Jarvis fight. So I could understand people who don't trust Thurman. They don't know Thurman anymore. I think that's what it is. Since they haven't seen it, they don't know what Thurman to expect. They don't know what Thurman to expect, so they don't have no, they don't have no, you know, they don't. But I think, look, I'm gonna say it like this: if Karen Chimichurri gave Jerome Boone his work, Xander Zayas is gonna give Jerome Boone and his work. I'm telling y'all right now. At first, couple fights ago, you asked me Boots versus Xander Zayas. I mean, Boots are gonna rake me. Boots are gonna, man, play with him. Not anymore. Not anymore. Xander Zayas, that's a 50-50 fight right now. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. If you would have asked me 2 fights ago, man, I think Boots is too much. You know, he was still 21 years old, 21, 22, but Xander Zayas, man, he's growing into a man-child right now. The only thing that's missing is that type of power. But I'm gonna tell you like this: if Boots Ennis didn't look beautiful versus Karen Chimichurri, Xander Zayas gonna put a, he's gonna give Boots a run for his money. He said the rebirth for a quick cash grabs. Let's go. Let's go. Thurman, man. Yo. Hey, yo, if y'all thought I was happy when Josh Kelly beat Bakram, yo, if Thurman beats Fundura, I'm gonna run butt naked in Central Park, bro. And like I'm right across the street from Central Park. I'm right across the street from Central Park. I'm right. Hey, yo, if Thurman beats Fundura, I think I'm gonna run butt naked in Central Park, and I'm gonna take a quick swim in that little pond right there. Timber. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. I don't want to get arrested. But I'm gonna be happy, man. Tim was done after the Russian Enrique. But yo, man. But folks, man, I gotta run right now, man. I gotta run. You know what I'm saying? I gotta run, man. Tengo que trabajar, mi hermano, ahora, man. You know? But tomorrow, hey, yo, there's gonna be a Keith Thurman versus Fundura marathon. A Keith Thurman versus Fundura marathon is gonna be all week. So all week we're gonna be talking about the 154, but especially Fundura and Thurman. So hopefully I go and support the content. But this is a very, very, I'm a big Keith Thurman fan. This is, again, there won't be no punch drunk boxing. I would have never started punch drunk boxing if it wasn't for me being a fan of Thurman and me doing content and praising Thurman. So yo, this is gonna be a Keith Thurman versus Fundura marathon. Xander Zayas. We're gonna see Vergil Ortiz. What's gonna happen next with Vergil Ortiz? Now we know that Golden Boy Promotions locked in on the deal, on the promotional, the zone deal. We're gonna be talking more about that. You feel me? So everybody, man, have a wonderful night. Ya tú sabes, somos los pobres, tenemos que trabajar. Love you, God bless, and on to the next, man.